Good evening, Americans. It's Mark Bradley, and you found the Mark Bradley Show once again. Hey, it's Thursday night, a happy Thursday, coming up on a weekend that's coming up so fast once again. Beautiful weather. Get outside and enjoy it. Go fishing. Take your kids to the park. Just go enjoy God's creation. It's a great time to do it. So much news to talk about. So much is happening in this crazy political world right now. We're not to mention Iran and the stimulus package and all the government spending. Well, we got some good news out of Washington yesterday. Brian Jennings posted a story about the FCC, the new FCC chairman, who's not officially the chairman yet, but he is President Obama's nomination for chairman of the Federal Communications Commission. Check this out. Jennings wrote, Julius Genachowski, President Obama's choice to head the Federal Communications Committee, made a strong statement that he does not favor censorship of the broadcast airwaves. It's the most definitive and concise statement heard from the chairman-to-be and from the Obama administration. The radio industry has led this fight, and now Mr. Genachowski on record is stating, I strongly believe in the First Amendment. I don't think the FCC should be involved in censorship based on political speech and opinion. And you know what? That is great news. I'm glad he said that, and I'm glad now that we kind of have a position from President Obama on that. There was a lot of fears about a reinstatement of the fairness doctrine. A lot of Democratic congressmen and senators have talked about that. Listen, talk radio, internet, hey, free speech exists in this country because of the First Amendment, and it should always be that way, and we should never let go of that. And especially when it comes to political and religious speech. What is there? I mean, some have said that there is no higher form of patriotism than dissent, and right now I have to dissent from a lot of what my government's doing. So, I bet you do too. On to the next story. This one is one where I really have to dissent. This was just stupid. Listen to this. This was started as House Resolution 2751, the Consumer Assistance to Recycle and Save Act. By the way, if you want to ask me a question or send me a comment, tell me why I missed something or what I got wrong, send that to markbradleyshow@gmail.com, or you can Twitter me. It's Mountain Man Mark, or just search Twitter for Mark Bradley. You'll find me, and you'll find the Mark Bradley Show. Also, check it out on Facebook. We're always posting links, and we post a show up there every night. You can click on the link. It's at YouTube. Search YouTube Mark Bradley Show. You'll find all our shows archived there for your viewing pleasure. Anyway, about the Consumer Assistance to Recycle and Save Act, Ken Thomas of the Associated Press wrote, Congress approved what is being called a Cash for Clunkers program Thursday to provide, not Thursday is today, that was this morning, to provide government incentives of anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500. It's actually lower than that. It goes anywhere from $1,000 to $4,500. Anyway, to motorists who trade in their gas guzzlers for more fuel-efficient vehicles. After Senate Democrats narrowly defeated a Republican effort to kill the plan, auto state senators, auto state as in Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, okay, auto state senators said the program would help hard-pressed car dealers and automakers bringing buyers into the showrooms, and they got help from President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden, who made calls to wavering Democrats urging them to keep the plan alive. Listen to this. This is well, you'll hear. This is an emergency for families and small businesses, for an industry that has been the backbone of an economy for a generation, said Senator Debbie Stabenow, Democrat of Michigan, who sponsored the proposal. Opponents said it would increase federal debt without doing much to get expensive to operate vehicles off the roads. Leading opponent Senator Judd Gregg, Republican of New Hampshire, overcame procedural hurdle by the plan's leading opponent. That was Senator Judd Gregg, Republican of New Hampshire, on a 60 to 36 vote, winning the minimum number of votes needed to keep the program in a $106 billion war spending plan that the Senate passed later today. And that's how they got it through. It was, in the House as well as the Senate, it went on this funding for Iraq and Afghanistan. The House he continues, the House approved the Cash for Clunkers bill last week on a vote of 298 to 119, and Senate Democrats attached it to the war spending bill. The overall bill now goes to the White House for President Obama's signature. Yay, happy day. Listen to some of those numbers. I pulled the Congressional Budget Office their report on this. I also looked at the Feinstein, Collins, Schumer, Carpel proposal fact sheet on this consumer, or what do they call it? They called it the Consumer Assistance to Recycle and Save Act. I hope you're listening to this, because you could make some big money of this. You know that old 84 Ford pickup that's been at your cousin's uncle's house forever? Yeah, that truck's worth some money again, as long as you can get it down to the car lot. According to the proposal fact sheet, consumers may trade in their gas-guzzling vehicles to be scrapped with a fuel economy of 17 miles per gallon or less, and that's EPA estimated fuel miles per gallon. They may not take your 84. It may be too old. It may not have an EPA estimated fuel miles per gallon. Anyway, and receive vouchers worth up to $4,500 to help pay for the purchase of more fuel-efficient cars and trucks. The new car or truck purchases will be authorized for 1 year, just 1 year, 2009 through, or 2010, the fiscal year 2010. Will be authorized for 1 year and provide for approximately 1 million new car and truck purchases. This is an estimate. There are approximately 47 million vehicles on the road today that could qualify for trade-in under this program. That's their estimate of vehicles bought in the last, what were they saying, 7 years, 6 years, last 6 years. According to the Congressional Budget Office, 16 million vehicles were sold last year, year 2008, and they're estimating approximately 10 million vehicles will be sold, brand new vehicles will be sold this year. And they are estimating that 1 million vehicles will be added to the 10 million that they're estimating will be sold this year. Now, what's it cost for all that? Nothing, just a little $4 billion. Yeah, this is a $4 billion proposal, that's with a B. And I've got a link up at my Twitter page to the fact sheet, and also to, I'm going to post the link to the Congressional Budget Office's report on this. But the numbers don't make any sense. How does it add up to spend $4 billion to do what? That's always the first question, is what is it actually going to do? They say approximately 1 million people will go buy a new rig. Well, that's great. They're going to give you $4,000 to go buy a new rig. New rig's what, 20 for starters? Well, they could buy 200,000 new cars for people with that $4 billion, or they could do it this way, where they could scrap all these other vehicles. And tell me, how am I supposed to replace my pickup truck, which gets 15 miles to the gallon, with a small car or SUV that has to get at least 7 miles per gallon more? And how much is that going to cost me? I don't have that extra money. Do you have that extra money? Well, hey, if you do, might be a good time. You get an extra $4,000 off your new vehicle purchase. And it applies to any vehicle 2004 or newer. So slightly used vehicles are included. So maybe you can get a good deal. $10,000 car minus $4,000 from the government. Hey, it all works out. I think it's a ridiculous waste of money, again, but we'll see how it turns out. Finally, I believe the Founding Fathers got it right when they said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." That, of course, is from the Declaration of Independence, and I believe that with all my heart. Thanks for watching the Mark Bradley Show. We'll be back, actually a special edition tomorrow, Friday night show, since I missed yesterday. You'll get a special edition of the Mark Bradley Show. Surprise guest, possibly? We'll see tomorrow on the Mark Bradley Show.